Welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. In this video, I thought I would share some simple ways to work on self-worth and self-esteem. Some refer to this as the concept of yourself that you hold in your mind, and how the overall concept that you hold of yourself can have an influence on your personality, your behaviors, perspective, and reactions. And really, the concepts that we hold of ourselves are related to past experiences, I think, and just all the sensory information that we've received from the world. We all have many concepts of ourselves, but I think deep down, many of you, just like myself, have always known that there's a hidden divine power and divine intelligence that's much greater than our own and can see far beyond our own concepts, and it's greater than our own limiting thoughts about ourselves or our world. And with that in mind, you could start asking, what would that view think of you? Or what would infinite love think about you? How would infinite love feel about others? Or what would someone who sees the God in you think about you? How would a divine intelligence that can only see good see you? How would a divine intelligence that can only see good see others? You could ask yourself how someone who sees love as the power of all life, how would they see you? Or someone that has reached a point of absolute love within themselves and has had that integrated in their consciousness as the true beginning of all people, how would they view you? Most likely, they would see you as pure love that they know to be true within themselves, and they would see you as divine. And any seeming difference at the surface, any flaw or any fault, would seem so insignificant to a view, a person, or an intelligence that's perceiving from pure love or from an expanded point of view, one that's connected to our oneness, our unity. So I think that makes it a bit easier because you're expanding the view and you're making it about something greater than yourself. Not only are you recognizing a more loving idea about yourself, you're reminding yourself of our unity and recognizing a more loving idea about others. It's more of establishing a genuine connection with the authentic self and the source of life within, so you can experience all that good that was yours from the beginning. And I think that means experiencing yourself, others, and life more fully. You could see yourself and others as dressed in divine light, and that inner beauty as an already existing reality. And everything you could ever want or desire is already known to the greater innermost part of you. That part of you is the part of you that's giving that impulse or that desire to recognize what's available or what's seeking your recognition. Desired results or answers may take shape more easily when we surrender to no longer trying to make ourselves different and instead accept ourselves and realize there's a deeper self that is already good. So it may be just as important to develop sensitivity, responsiveness, and receptivity along with deliberate, intentional focus, like training your attention. The divine innermost part of you speaks through a knowing, inspiration, intuition. It's the still voice within. An infinite love and a divine intelligence that can only see its creation as good would not project ideas of suffering, fear, worry, or lack. So when we align with that innermost part of us, there's a deeper knowing, There's a calmness, there's a clarity, there's inspiration, there's intuition or guidance and wisdom. And I don't think it would want you to have to struggle with concepts about yourself either. It would be more of like a recognition of what's not that truth and then an affirming of that inner truth, if that makes sense. So those ideas, concepts that are more limiting, are like effects of energy or the results of energy that have been previously misdirected. But when the true order of things gets reestablished in consciousness, all that has hindered your creative potential, your self-worth, your confidence, self-expression, all of that, it gets reestablished. The right perspective could instantly change everything, and that could mean just getting the right spiritual idea about yourself, the connection within, and realizing that truth that's kind of common to us all at a higher level. And that right perspective could instantly change everything. If we could see things as divine order is always in divine order, then it may make getting in alignment with divine order from within ourselves much easier. And things only change on a material level from a spiritual level or a realization of our wholeness and completeness. And if there's no reasoning with concepts of self at a spiritual level because of that wholeness and completeness, then that means that there's no real battle in the spirit. There's no real battle in that state of complete knowing of our wholeness, of that absolute part of ourselves. So uniting without self comes by getting external ideas to match the inner spiritual truth about you. And that inner spiritual truth about you is already a truth. It's already existing. It's bringing that forth. So the reactions to the movements of energy, the mental pictures, the sensory impressions, and all the different correspondences that get triggered are what we seem to battle with. And it seems like more of a refinement of the personality and an inner integration of contrasting energies from within the unconscious than really a battle. It's just how it may be felt or perceived. It's a denial of what negates by speaking directly to it in some way, and affirming of what builds up by affirming the spiritual truth about you. So it may be easier and quicker to make it about your unity with the source of life within you by realizing that part of you, reminding yourself of that, the connection within that is already absolute and complete, rather than just about your own concept about yourself. The details come together more easily when we expand our view first. It's like looking at a map to see the bigger picture and see where you're going before you start traveling in that direction, developing plans and different ways to do so. It kind of takes you out of the limited mind and into contemplation of an expanded point of view. And the bigger picture contains all of the details. One greater image contains all the frames and all the different angles of view, all the different experiences. So the greater intelligence contains all the intelligences within it, all individualities, all energies, all personalities. The greater being in us contains all finite beings around us. It also allows greater freedom for universal intelligence to call forth any help that may be beneficial. When you surrender your personal focus and contemplate on a spiritual truth that's common to us all, it's like cleansing anything that is unlike that spiritual truth within yourself Yet it's not just about yourself, it's also about all others. So it's like uprooting that truth, not just directed in one specific way, but in all ways. So if you've tried the self-concept thing and you feel that something wasn't aligning with that, you could try this perspective and see how this works for you. I think consistency and sincerity act like fuel. That means making it like a daily practice to try and reflect on these things and having a genuine, sincere desire to improve, to establish a direct connection to the divine within you, and to more fully realize your unity and wholeness. Then from there, with this perspective, you could think about specific goals, and you may feel more at ease. You may feel an increase in your faith, probably less resistance, less tension. It's like surrendering control and accepting what's yours by divine right at the same time. It's allowing yourself to be able to give to the world and receive from the world that wholeness that you already are. And if you see yourself as God or divine intelligence, infinite love would see you as a divine being that's already whole and complete, full of love, peace, beauty, joy, then there would be no concepts to develop. You would already be it, and it would be more of allowing what is already existing within you to unfold or come to the surface and express through you more naturally. It would be more of getting the inner self to come forth and to become more of who you truly are. And that kind of creates a feeling of thankfulness and appreciation, a feeling of ease, calmness, peacefulness. And if you really think about it, it's all about allowing yourself to become aware of and give what you've already received at some level of your being. So what's already existing within you. So it's getting the mind out of the way. The spirit or divine intelligence in you is complete knowing, already absolute. So it's already connected to the best solutions, already knows the best answers, knows the best ways, the best results. It's just tapping into that part of the self. And this part of you acts more through inspiration, intuition, and it gives a sense of knowing or calm confidence. It's kind of beyond the conscious direction a lot of times. Or you could just be like, I'm going to be nice to myself today, and I'm going to give that a try. Or you could be like, I'm going to allow myself to accept myself and see how that works. And sometimes it's when you're done with the concepts of yourself and feeling like you have to be a certain way or a specific thing or a certain specific defined way, that you can actually let yourself be free and allow yourself to enjoy life. So I hope this was helpful for you guys, and I love you. I'll talk to you soon.